Good morning. I'm Chris Ronayne. I'm your Cuyahoga County executive, and it's great to be in the great city of East Cleveland today. Thank you for having us, Mayor and members of council. This is our second day in a row here in the city of East Cleveland for two press conferences and both very good news stories. Today, we are going to focus on the major land remediation project completed here on this site in East Cleveland. It's my honor also to be joined by, and we'll introduce, and then they will introduce each other, the following folks who are with us here today. Councilman Michael J. Hauser, District 10 from Cuyahoga County Council. Thanks for being with us today. Joe Goicochea. Goicochea. He just told me that. But Joe is from the Ohio EPA Division of Materials and Waste Management. He's the chief of that division. And thank you, Joe, for being with us today. I want to thank the president and CEO of the Cuyahoga County Land Bank, Ricardo. Thank you for being with us today. Beth Biggins-Ramer. She's director of the Cuyahoga County Solid Waste District. Thank you for being with us today. Also, Cuyahoga County Sheriff Harold Pretel is with us today. And would you please introduce yourself? Thank you from the Board of Health, Matt Johnson from the Board of Health. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank two other parties. One is our Environmental Crimes Task Force out of the prosecutor's office. If you guys can just give a wave here, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. And I should say they worked in partnership with the prosecutor's office, and where's my representative from the prosecutor's office here? Thank you for being here today on behalf of Prosecutor Michael Malley. This has been a great partnership. We sat down together a number of months ago and talked about this very site, and this Crimes Task Force has been the one that has bird dogged it to get prosecutions on people who illegally dump in our communities like this great city of East Cleveland. It no longer is a dumping site, and it will be a site of remediation and redevelopment and revitalization for this community. So today we are here to announce that key milestone in this major land remediation and cleanup initiative right here in East Cleveland. We have zero tolerance for land dumping of any kind of garbage, any kind of tires, anything that people are dumping illegally in our community. We have no tolerance for it. That's why we have the Environmental Crimes Task Force. We are going to turn this area into something that really once was decaying and decrepit and will in the future be a new bright spot in the city of East Cleveland. This project is more than cleanup. It's a commitment to public safety, the health of our residents, environmental justice, and long-term investment in our neighborhoods. The project, coordinated by the Cuyahoga County Solid Waste District, the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, the Cuyahoga County Land Bank, the Cuyahoga County Board of Health, the City of East Cleveland, and Cuyahoga County Environmental Crimes Task Force, and also obviously the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office. They focused on several blocks between Northfield Avenue and Strathmore Avenue, and we're going to continue the fight to fight illegally dumping areas that people are dumping in illegally. We're going to continue the fight to get these communities cleaned up and also prosecute those who are doing wrong in our community. This comprehensive effort reflects our shared commitment to creating and sustaining healthy and vibrant communities. By restoring this land, we are reclaiming its potential and laying the foundation for a safer, stronger neighborhood. For far too long, the property posed serious hazards to the health and wellness of our public. It was a public health problem on this site, and public safety due to illegal dumping, contamination, and the decaying of abandoned properties. Cleaning it up means reducing not only the environmental risks, but eliminating places that attract crime and endanger nearby families. And we say to the criminals out there who are illegally dumping in our community, we have zero tolerance for you and we will prosecute you. And that's what's happened with this site today. The effort has included the demolition of dozens of blighted properties, the removal of 250 tons of illegally dumped material, and land remediation. I want to thank the Board of Health for issuing a resolution declaring this property a public nuisance and declaring an emergency due to the risk to public health and safety. Thank you to all at the Board of Health. And to the Ohio EPA, who dedicated over $73,000 to remove hundreds of tons of solid waste and tires from this site. And to the Cuyahoga County Land Bank for dedicating $1.7 million to demolish blighted structures. And to the Solid Waste District for coordinating comprehensive cleanup efforts. And again, to the county's Environmental Crimes Task Force and the Prosecutor's Office for teaming up for their enforcement efforts to hold violators responsible. Thank you all, and we thank you for the ongoing work you do all throughout Cuyahoga County. Because of this collaboration of these agencies, this site now holds promise, not problems. Now the City of East Cleveland and Mayor Morgan and the East Cleveland City Council can see opportunities here. Whether used for housing, green space, or future development, this space will serve the city rather than burden it. It is now my honor to introduce my partner, and I do want to say one more time, thank you to this entire all-in team effort. You see it, it could not happen without the team that stepped in and act. Now it's my honor to introduce Cuyahoga County Councilman. He represents this district, Michael J. Hauser. Michael.
I will be brief. This is a great day for East Cleveland, for District 10. I think it's important that we invest in our communities all across the district, under-resourced communities. I want to thank our partners from the prosecutor's office, the county land bank, our Board of Health, our environmental crime task force, and the great city of East Cleveland. I was talking to Director Ricardo. He was telling me how many tires were cleaned up from this site alone. I'm going to double down on our county executive. We will prosecute anyone. We have to invest in our community. We cannot keep dumping all these poor and unsafe hazardous in our communities. And so I'm just so happy to be here today. I'm happy for the investment. Thank you so much for coming out. If you guys need anything from me, anything from the county executive, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you again for your tireless efforts, Councilman Hauser. It is now my honor to introduce East Cleveland Mayor Sandra Morgan.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the great city of East Cleveland. For those of you who don't live here or who don't travel this way, welcome. You know what? Well, I was going to say the sun is shining upon us, and of course now the sun has gone in. But, you know, metaphorically, the sun is shining on us. As I said yesterday, I feel like the sun is in my face and the wind is at my back. These are great times here in the city of East Cleveland, and I am just really so grateful to have all of these opportunities to share with you and to share the good news of the great things that are happening in our city. I want to give a special thanks to our County Executive, Chris Ronayne, and his staff. You've been a tireless partner to us here in East Cleveland, and to me in particular. And you've been a great, a great supporter when I've needed someone to talk to, or someone a shoulder to cry on, or when I felt like throwing something and didn't do it. However, but you've been a tireless champion of our city, and I really appreciate that. I'd like to also thank our other very special partners and echo, the welcome and the thanks from our county executive and our county council person. And all of our distinguished guests that are here in the audience. You know, we're gathered here today to mark a turning point for East Cleveland. There's the sun. We're celebrating a major cleanup and revitalization effort here targeting Elderwood, Chapman, Northfield, and Page Avenues. We're also celebrating our partnerships that have brought this to pass and offering our gratitude and our thanks. You know, I'll say as a sidebar, as I drive around this community and see all of the houses and the apartment buildings and that, you can see the grandeur and the greatness that once was East Cleveland here. And it is my hope that through these kinds of efforts of cleaning up our community, taking care of dumping, really taking care of the bad actors who have taken advantage of this city for so long, that we can restore our city to the grandeur that it once had. And I'm not saying that we're going to be what we were, restore every building in East Cleveland, and it's going to look the way that it did 50 years ago, but certainly we're going to be able to make progress towards an East Cleveland that is vibrant and exciting, welcoming to not only the people that are living here, give some respite to the people who are living here, and also encourage new families and new individuals to come into our community. We will, once again, be a thriving, exciting, multicultural, multi-generational, fabulous place to live, and I'm looking forward to playing my role and being a part of that. So, with the $4.1 million in funding that came together to put this program together, including funding from the Ohio Department of Development, the stewardship from the Land Bank and Cuyahoga County, and many, many others who contributed to this, the investment is allowing us to continue the important work of continuous cleanup, to demolish these dangerous and condemned structures, to renovate and rehab those that can be, and remove tons of debris that have been caused by years of illegal dumping, by people who really didn't care about our community and who thought we didn't care about our community as well. Well, you know what? Those days are over. I've said it to City Council and I'll say it again. We are watching you dumpers, and we're going to come after you, and it's not going to be a little slap on the wrist fine. We're going to get you, and you're going to pay the price. East Cleveland is not the place to dump. Take it to the rightful place that you need to dump, or get ready for our wrath. And I'm not kidding around on that. That's my sidebar. Sorry, but you know what? This project represents just more than bricks and trash. We're removing hazards that have impacted the health and the well-being of our residents for very far too long. Although he's not here today, I am going to give a shout out to our Councilman Twan Billings, who has been a strong voice in describing this area as a public health crisis and has been a leader in driving this change. It's his leadership and his perseverance, really, that has helped to bring us to this point today. I wish he were here to enjoy kind of the fruits of his labor, and to bask in the in again, out again sun. Cuyahoga County is stepping in to support security and enforcement efforts so that this cleanup has maximum impact, and I thank you for that. I also thank the task force there, the criminal task force. We're going to be on these people. We're going to make sure that there's no dumping here in East Cleveland. We are going to make sure that our city is as beautiful as it can be. And again, I am thrilled and delighted to be a part of the growth of this city. Thank you all for coming, and thank you again.
Thank you, Mayor. And I want to have Joe come up. He is, again, the chief of the Ohio EPA's Division of Materials and Waste Management. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Chris. I don't know that it was much warmer out here today than it was when we were out here in February, but that's okay. On behalf of the director and the Ohio EPA team, it is our pleasure to join with our partners here today to celebrate in the great work that's been happening in this neighborhood that has really focused on the improvement and the well-being of the East Cleveland community. Earlier this year, Ohio EPA was able to contribute to the cleanup of more than 250 tons of solid waste, including hundreds of scrap tires that were illegally dumped. While the stretch of road along Elderwood Avenue has many vacant properties, there is absolutely no tolerance for illegal dumping by individuals and by businesses to save a buck at the expense of the families that live nearby, and that's what our previous speakers have also mentioned. At the time, Ohio EPA partnered with the Cuyahoga County Environmental Crimes Task Force, and from day one I can tell you that the focus was not only on cleaning up the waste that was dumped here, but really what measures could be put into place to prevent open dumping from occurring in the future, but also holding accountable those who are responsible for the past dumping. This community is extremely lucky to have the support and commitment by the many local departments that are here today, including the county executive, the city of East Cleveland, the health department, the solid waste district, the sheriff's office, the land bank. These folks are true problem solvers and care about improving the communities that they serve. The great work that has been happening in this neighborhood is public service at its best. It is local and state agencies working collaboratively to provide available resources and services to revitalize this neighborhood and this community, and I certainly want to thank everyone involved. Ohio EPA appreciates the opportunity to partner with the Cuyahoga County departments, not only on this project, but across our many programs that protect the environment and public health. So thank you all for coming out today, and I can introduce our next speaker, Ricardo Leon, President and CEO with the Cuyahoga Land Bank.
Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here today. And first and foremost, just thank you to the county executive. Thank you to Mayor Morgan. Thank you to Councilman Hauser for really just allowing the land bank to be a part of this today. I think this is an important day for all of us. Also, thank you to all the partners who are up here. The land bank is just one piece of the puzzle in kind of how we get these types of projects completed in communities across the county. And certainly, last but certainly not least, thank you to the State of Ohio Department of Development for the dedicated funding that has allowed us to tackle blight and vacancy, not just in East Cleveland, but across the county. I want to just speak a little bit about the scope of work of what you've seen when it comes to the vacancy and blight removal. To date, the land bank has invested about $1.7 million in funding to demolish 22 vacant and abandoned buildings that were in this kind of what we call the Elderwood Page target area. Those buildings all pose serious health and safety concerns. They attracted a lot of criminal activity and, quite frankly, just brought blight to the surrounding neighborhood, lowering property values. In addition to the 22 units that have already been demolished, the land bank currently has funding, about $600,000 in funding to demolish 11 more buildings in this target area as well. Again, thanks to the Department of Development. So the demolition and the blight removal has not stopped. It's continuing. And for us, cleaning up environmentally compromised land in East Cleveland isn't just about remediation. The fact of the matter is that it's about restoration. It's about reclaiming spaces. It's finding ways to reclaim those spaces that have been burdened by disinvestment and environmental neglect, and really helping transform them into assets for the community. And that's our hope, that this will become an asset for East Cleveland and for the mayor as you think about the redevelopment of the community and how you so eloquently put. For us, this is just a critical step towards building a healthier future for the city of East Cleveland and East Cleveland residents. So with that, I just want to say thank you to everyone involved. We look forward to continuing our collaboration as we work together to build a healthier, more sustainable, more resilient community. So with that, I have, I think, a difficult job of introducing the next gentleman, Matt Johnson, who is the Director of Environmental Health with the Cuyahoga County Board of Health. Thank you, Matt.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here representing the County Board of Health. I also do want to say, not to belabor this, but I appreciate all the work and all the collaboration from everybody involved. As a public health official and an environmental specialist, I can say this initiative speaks to what we do. So much of what we do in public health involves identifying issues, educating people about the hazards, collaborating to find solutions, and then working to ensure the necessary corrections are made. At the Board of Health, we are committed to strengthening our efforts in remediating environmental crimes, and we know that's something that we've done here many times and we're going to continue to do, Mayor. This includes working with our in-house legal counsel and others to remove roadblocks and find quicker ways to realize improved environmental conditions. On behalf of all of us at the Board of Health, we're proud to be part of this cleanup effort, and it's both our duty and our pleasure to help the residents and folks that live here in the community of East Cleveland. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Get better at this. I want to introduce Beth Biggins-Ramer, the Executive Director of County Solid Waste District. Thank you.
Little short. Thank you for having us today. 18 months ago, the Cuyahoga County Solid Waste District was contacted about a severe illegal dumping problem along Elderwood. And we work with the prosecutor's office as well as representatives of law enforcement from the city of Cleveland and the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. Together, we are the Cleveland-Cuyahoga County Environmental Crimes Task Force. Other members of that amazing organization include the EPA as well as our local county board of health and Cuyahoga County in general. And when we were contacted, we assembled our great team to discuss how can we get evidence for prosecution and then turn our efforts into how can we clean up and mitigate the illegal dumping that had occurred across this multi-block area. And I am thrilled and very grateful for the partnerships that we have. I want to commend the EPA, the Ohio EPA, for actually helping us fund the cleanup. We had reached out to the private sector and had received an initial estimate, and the EPA responded and said, we can take care of that for you to help remediate and make this community healthy again. I would like, if I could, to have the members of the task force stand. And we have prosecutors, we have law enforcement, we have the EPA, and we have the health department. And these are the folks that were the boots on the ground that made the cleanup possible. And the Solid Waste District is very grateful. Many hands make the job much easier. And thank you all. And I would like to now introduce Cuyahoga County Sheriff Pretel.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Certainly my pleasure to be here today on this momentous event where we actually made quite a difference. Quite the uncanny task force, bringing all these agencies together for a common effort. But it's something that I know when we discussed it, I still remember what room we were in talking with the county executive. And I mentioned the fact that obviously Cleveland, the Environmental Crimes Task Force existed. We needed some additional participation from the Sheriff's Department, and the executive supported that. We moved forward. We made some personnel increases there, and we're all in on this project, but more broadly, the project obviously countywide. But this was the center of gravity for all operations here, as the director just had the task force stand up. It's a lot of different facets to this. A lot of components to it. Took a lot of work. There were some streets that they weren't dead ends, but you had to go around some stuff. But we got there, and the plane is coming for a landing today. So this is an opportunity for us to let people know when they commit these crimes. Thank you, sir. When they commit these crimes, and they are crimes, prosecution's around the corner. Our community needs to be involved, continue to be involved, because they understand the impact. This is not a crime where it's just a single offense. These offenders can also be multi-issue offenders. Let's keep that in mind. If someone offends in one space, they can offend in another space, meaning they're not just dumping. Many are involved in other activities. So I encourage you to call 25 Crime Stoppers, make the notification, call local police department, certainly the Sheriff's Department, let us know. But those that are offending know who's doing it. We all know that there's the midnight dump truck, there's the midnight run of tires, etc. When that happens, if someone's aware of that, please let us know. Any information through Crime Stopper specifically is anonymous, and any information, the red pickup with this license plate or this kind of cap or this sticker, all that is very helpful. We work with the community, work with our partners to gather as much information intelligence as possible. Today's successful prosecutions, at least 15 people, 12 of those are felonies, pretty serious. And that's not a slap on the wrist. That is something that is going to impact them and hopefully send a message to others. There's a deterrence effect in that, but more importantly, our community needs to know we're going to stand forth and support them and defend them in that space. It's not okay that children have to play in these yards with broken construction debris and old mattresses. It's not okay that those places breed other crimes. Every study we look at around the country, whether we're looking at fixing broken windows model or we're looking at the Kansas City study, etc., all those crime reduction strategies, a core component is an environment that's free of debris and garbage, etc., and dumping is one of those. So in Cuyahoga County, we're here to tell you this is a success story in the city of East Cleveland. We're going to continue these success stories, and please let us know if you see any illegal dumping so we can take some action. Again, thank you to the executive for support, and executive, you're up, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sheriff. Appreciate it. Thank you, Sheriff Pretel. And I do remember that meeting. We had taken countless trips through the streets here of East Cleveland and saw what the residents and leadership see, which is too much dumping happening. And we did have a meeting of multiple agencies represented here and out in the seats and reinvigorated the Environmental Crimes Task Force. And I thank you, all of you on that task force, for the work. You're the ones on, as Sheriff said, the boots on the ground that made this cleanup happen and made the prosecution happen. You've heard the same refrain from all of us today. We're in unanimous agreement on this, that we will not have any tolerance for any dumping, and we will prosecute. We have a zero tolerance policy about dumping in our community, and as the mayor said, find the proper repository for it. But for us, this is a day of celebration because a team came together to get the bad guys, to get this cleaned up, and get this ready for a new community vision that the mayor and I were talking about just on the way here. I want to thank again all of you, the Board of Health, the Ohio EPA, Cuyahoga County Land Bank, the Solid Waste District, the many members of the Environmental Crimes Task Force. the Sheriff's Department. And I do want to shout out one more time to Prosecutor Mike O'Malley, who was with us in that first meeting and was one of the ones who sounded the alarm bells about this exact site. So this is what collaboration really looks like. It's what progress looks like, restorative efforts in our community, and it is community driven. Mostly we want to thank the residents of East Cleveland for your perseverance. As the sheriff said, when you see something, say something, call the hotline, and we'll take care of business. Today's message is about more than cleanup. It is about healing our community, our lands in our community. As the sheriff said, it's about our kids and our families who live here. We ought to put up one of those signs out here. Would you do this if you lived here, right? And that's the point of all this today. There should be zero tolerance for any of this anywhere throughout Cuyahoga County. But salutes to the East Cleveland leadership for helping us get this cleaned up, and to the task force that made it happen. We will continue to invest in projects like this to make our region healthier, safer, and more vibrant for generations to come, and we will remain vigilant on the matter of illegal dumping in our community. We look to a brighter future because of the team that's out here today. Thanks for being all in with us on this team. Thanks to the media partners who have messaged repeatedly about the problems that we see in our community. Thanks for being with us today. You see what success looks like when we collaborate and we team up and we clean up our act here. Want to thank everybody in the rows, and they wanted to take a group photo. If you could join us up here, maybe the media partners could stick around and catch you on film. Come on up. Thank you, everybody. Let's give yourselves a round of applause.